All right, well, good morning and welcome to Lassen Park. It's time to get after it. It's the third year of Snurf Quest. So you can see the snow conditions. I'm hiking on the road. The road is still currently closed at the Bumpus Hell parking lot, if you're familiar. So I'm walking up the road from there. That's Mount Lassen. They're almost done clearing the road, but that's the closest parking lot that they can put people in. So that's where you gotta park. So I'm a couple miles from the site I want to be at, where I left a camera last year. So the goal today is to retrieve that camera and set up one camera trap. I've got one full camera trap set up in the backpack. I didn't want to carry much more weight than that. But that's the deal. So we're passing Lake Helen right now. If you've never seen Lake Helen in the melt, it's very cool. I'll give you a better look when we get up high, but the blue glacier water is awesome. But man, we got some catching up to do. I've been busy. Haven't been busy on Snurf Quest, but I have been busy. Just got back from a Europe trip. Went to Paris and we drove to Switzerland. Spent some time in the Alps, which was awesome. And then went to Prague and spent some time there. So awesome trip. I got to see my image on display in the Natural History Museum in Basel, Switzerland, with the Wildlife Photographer of the Year exhibition. That was cool. And I've been playing with camera traps at home. Remember, I had issues, the trigger issues I was having last season. I think I narrowed that down to being what I speculated at one point, which was just proximity. That one trigger must have been getting wind triggers and was tripping the receiver 100 yards away. I did not think they would work that far, but I did some homework on them, and that seems to be the consensus. And some of you suggested that in the comments last time also. So good job. I think that was it. So I took one of those triggers and switched it to, you have to take it apart to change the channel. But now they're operating on two very different channels, which means you have to change all the receivers to operate on a different channel, so the one won't trip the other. So that's the hope, is that I won't have those issues anymore. I did bring snowshoes, but I left them in the car when I kind of saw the conditions. Hopefully I can find a spot to scramble up this bank and the snow's frozen up enough to stay on top of. But I think it'll be all right. I didn't want to carry them and not use them, you know. It is chilly, getting colder as I go up and get in the shade here, but probably in the 40s. It's quite an operation, but they're just short of the summit of the road, and this is where we take to the snow, I guess. Looks like those cats have been over it, so it should be packed down for a while. We are at the summit of the park road right now, and it just gets worse. Like, I've been on a pretty nice trail back here, but I'm thinking about getting off of this glacier, man. Get up where the snow hasn't been tracked up by these tractors. This is a pain. So what is the summit of the road is like 85, I think, 100 feet. So you can see the road over there, kind of probably take into the hills when I get over there, because this is no fun right here, man. Things got better. This is sweet now. It's like walking on a sidewalk. Slippery sidewalk, but a sidewalk nonetheless. It's like one other person's been doing this. There's a lot of skiers going up the mountain, you know, to get some turns. But most people don't have a reason to go past the Summit Trail parking area. So if you didn't know the ballpark of where I have my cameras before, and you know the park, then you kind of have a better idea now. That's okay. I'm still going to be pretty vague about exactly where I'm at, but remember, the conditions of my permit are that I have to be in non-wilderness, which is more or less a giant corridor along the park road in Lassen. You can't get too far away from the road before you hit the wilderness, which really hasn't been as big of an issue as I thought it was going to be. The more homework I've done on where these critters hang out, a lot of it is non-wilderness, and I'm in the heart of it, so I'm not too bummed about that anymore. Speaking of permits, I did get one again. I wasn't sure how that was going to play out with, well, first of all, the law change with that Explore Act that Biden signed into law. That was great legislation. Freed up all of the content creators to go create their content in the national park system, which is awesome. But then there was all the layoffs and stuff with park employees, so I didn't know who to contact or if they were still around or what. But we did finally get that ball rolling. Same guy that's been dealing with me for a couple of years is still there, and basically with the whole Explore Act, there's a clause in there that they can't charge you for content creation, but they can charge you for other things as the park sees fit, and leaving cameras in the park is outside of that Explore Act altogether. It's not really covered or addressed, and Lassen wanted the same fee from me that they've wanted in the past, and I didn't push the issue, and I just paid it. So got my permit. I was a little worried because I left a camera and my permit was about to expire when the new one finally came through, so I'm legal. I think I was illegal for a couple of days, but as you can see, there's not really anybody up here to find my camera and pull it down. So I don't want to drop too much elevation. I'm thinking about just hightailing it off the road here, but it's been easy going again, so we're getting there. Another mile-ish, I think, to my camera. That's a straight line though. So we will make it. Today's the day. Hey, look, there's the road. I can see it. See that? Pavement. Amazing. Wait a minute. I'm wondering if it's actually clear around this corner. It's like maybe the crew coming up from the other side has made it happen. It might just be melt on this really exposed corner here. Oh yeah, that's just the sun at work, man. We're back to snow here in a little bit. So I'm gonna consult my map and maybe jump off the road before I lose much more elevation. All right, we're off-roading. These crazy amounts of sun cups, they're called, as the snow melts. The solar radiation does some weird stuff, man. But basically trying to just keep my elevation and cut across to the area my camera's in. Looking at a topo map, seems like I'm doing pretty good, so we'll get there. Solid ground here. I'm hoping that rock that I've been targeting with my cameras is exposed, and I can sort of set up the same way that I was last year. Because if all the surrounding ground is like this and you got a prominent rock sticking up, I have to believe that's going to be an attractive place to go for an animal on top of this snow. Some dry ground, you know. Maybe that's why it's a popular spot, because this time of year it's one of the first. Who knows, but we'll see what it looks like. Whoo! Feeling that elevation a little bit. Beautiful day in the neighborhood though. But tell me there's not some geothermal activity here. It's weird, man. I've been on like 4 or 5 feet of snow everywhere. Look at that wall. And just like, boop. No snow here. It's like some critters have been digging. Could be squirrels. Could be a lot of stuff, but we're getting close. Hey now. This place looks familiar. Wonder if anybody's been using that hole this winter. Here we are, man. Everything's looking great. See that guy? Am I pointing at it? I can't see my finger. Bam! Riding it out. We'll pull him down and see. So the goal was, it was looking across that spot. I'm not sure if it was pointing a little bit too high. I'm not sure if it would pick up all the motion over here or not, but we'll see. I'm gonna get this backpack off and eat a granola bar, and then we'll look at the setup, if we want to do the same thing or not. Scanning the ground for like any sign of anything, and there's not, but yeah, It's really good to be back here. Let's get this party started this year, huh? All right, I've pulled down the winter cam, which again was looking like that pretty much, from a little bit higher. I flipped through the videos and I'm gonna declare this camera placement a success. This bowl that I'm kind of standing in filled up with snow and put this camera like almost like it was looking across level ground. Like kind of dumb luck with snow depth, but the wind in this spot cooperated. It looks like the camera stayed out of the snow all winter. Still has battery. There's 194 videos on it. The only bummer thing is that the date reset on the camera, so it thinks it's like 1971 right now. But I can go back and look at today because it will have picked me up when I, was grabbing it. So I can count back and figure out what the dates are. But I've flipped through them. I'll save you the drama. I've gone through 194 of them in the sun right here. Some of them you just can't tell. The screen is small. It's hard to see. But it was definitely picking up motion across the way. And I'm ready to say at this point I definitely have a couple of pretty darn cool fox clips from this spot. A couple in particular in the daylight. The fox wanders over onto that little rock and it's just hanging out. So I'm really excited to get those on a computer. It looked like I also got that pine marten that I probably the same one I got on camera last year. But I got foxes, man, and it's so fun to have a successful winter camera deployment. Super impressed. This camera still has battery and is just doing great. This is a Blaze brand cheap trail camera off of Amazon. I've got a handful of them and they've just been awesome, bang for the buck trail cams. So my recommendation, if you're looking for a cheap trail cam, it shoots 1080p video, decent speed on detection. They'll shoot stills, I think like 16 megapixel stills or something also. They're great, man, they do good. So shout out to the Blaze camera. But, oh, side note, this is the same exact camera that I left out last winter. So 2 winters at 8,500 feet and going strong. But this year it didn't get buried and I'm excited. Seeing those videos is making me wonder about somehow getting a camera looking at that rock, because that just looks so cool with that background. I mean, if you were to get one in the daylight with that background lit up, would be pretty sweet. So I'm gonna figure out where to set up, but very excited about the results on the winter camera. So we'll get that on the computer. I'll probably throw those in this video right here so that you can check them out. All right, been busy. I got a plan. So after watching that video, I just love watching that fox go up on that rock. And I mean, if it was anywhere near daytime or dusk and you had that background, that would be an incredible photo. So I've put the camera here. It's all nestled in the rocks. It's looking more or less like that. A little narrower than what you're seeing now, but the rock is in it. Down here, that's the bush that it was peeing in last time, right? So it's a fairly wide shot, but a little narrower than this, maybe like that. So if it goes up on that rock, I'll get it. And if it's anywhere over here, I'll get it. I have only 2 flashes. I've got one here, kind of shooting that way, and one over there, lighting up that way. I've been doing more with 2 flashes at home this winter, and I'm liking it. It's working good. So I might add later in the summer, but for now I'm going with 2. I've got the trigger down here this time. I like it because it's out of the sun. I mean, it's out of the direct sun, so it's not going to be getting false triggers from the sun. There's nothing really in front of it to mess with it, and it's perpendicular to what I hope is the path of travel. So I've walked it a few times, and if I come from over here and go over that rock, it triggers right when I'm on top of the rock. And if I'm over here coming this way, it triggers right when I'm about at the bush. So it's really nice with how it's working right now. So if that fox cooperates, which is always the case, right, it'll be good. The only issue I might have is because the trigger's way back here, fairly close to the camera and pointing the same direction. If the fox comes close and it's out of that focus plane, obviously it'll still trigger, but focus plane is like right back where I'm hoping it'll be. So you got to do it that way. You got to set up for the shot that you want. So I'm realizing that I did not bring a spare memory card for that trail cam. Actually I did, but it's in the car like 2 miles away. So that's my one fail for the day. So I'm going to pack that camera out with me and not have a trail camera up here overseeing the camera trap for this first round of leaving it up here. So I'll bring that back with me with another camera trap next time I come up, and we'll get all the gear back in here. But we are rolling for a new season, and I've got a nice hike ahead of me right now. The snow's getting soft, so it's going to be work. But I'm stoked. We got footage. We're back, and this will be the year. Let's just keep it positive, huh? Confidence. I mean, you know, at some point in the next several months, a Sierra Nevada red fox will be back at this spot. We've got a pattern established. If we wait long enough, we'll get them. So that's what you got to do. But thanks for tagging along, and I'll turn the camera back on if anything cool happens on the way back. But otherwise, this is it for this installment, and I'll put the rest of the clips that the camera caught right at the end of the video here, and you can enjoy those. But here we go, one more year of snurf action.